Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another theme park obsession video. My name is Dylan and thank you so much for tuning back into the channel. Today, as you can see, I am not in a theme park today because I wanted to talk about what is going on with the Magic Key program, the annual pass program that the Disneyland Resort has. So, without further ado, how about you and I dive right in. So as many of you know, especially all of you Magic Key holders know, Disney has been incredibly silent about when the renewals will happen come this month, because a lot of Magic Key holders passes expire on August 25th, mine included, and we have no word from Disney on when they are going to let us renew. They have said just not too long ago that we will be able to renew, but as far as any details, they haven't budged on anything. It's becoming a little bit frustrating for so many, including myself, because we really can't plan in the future. You know, what's pretty awesome about having an annual pass, and I guess the reservation system, is you could look ahead and really start planning your days out and make your reservations a few weeks in advance and maybe even a month in advance. But as of right now, since the passes are getting closer to their expiration dates, we can't make any of those decisions just because all the passes expire at the end of this month, with the exception of a few that had purchased their passes after the first launch day. In the past, Disney has let us renew about 40 to 60 days in advance. So when that timetable comes, you're able to click a button, renew your annual pass very seamlessly through the web, or you can even do it at the ticket booth, and all was done and ready to go for the next season. But not this time around. This time things are a little weird and very perplexing, because we're all trying to figure out what's going on behind the scenes. We all kind of knew things were starting to get fishy when Disney started halting the sales of the annual passes. So last November, Disney halted the sales of the Dream and Believe Key, and then this May, they halted the sales of all the rest of the passes. So you couldn't even purchase a brand new annual pass at the end of May and going into June of this year. They were all halted. So anything that was new was off the table. And then that's when the question really started to arise, well, what's going to be the deal for renewals? And fast forward to today, we still have no idea what Disney's plan is when it comes to renewals, or even altering the pass system as it is right now. Now, one thing people are talking about online that could be a reason why Disney hasn't said anything is because there is a lawsuit going on, a class action lawsuit when it comes to the Magic Keys. And to make a long story short, essentially what the lawsuit says is that Disney is fibbing with the reservation definition. And say someone bought a Dream Key, which has no blockout dates, but the catch was you still had to make a reservation. So really, if there wasn't a reservation available for that particular day, you were essentially blocked out anyway. So you couldn't go. You were paying for 365, but you weren't able to go 365 because Disney likes to fluctuate the reservation system. And what's funny is at today's earnings call, Disney, at the time of making this video, Disney just had a quarterly earnings call where they talked about their actually record number profits. They had like $7 billion in revenue. We don't know what the profit was. They didn't release that information, but they made a lot of money. But in that call, they did reveal that they do mess with the reservation system. They made it very clear that they will fudge with the numbers and change things depending on demand and the time of day. So we know for a fact that Disney is in hot water when it comes to the Magic Key reservation lawsuit. So that could be one of the reasons why we really haven't heard anything when it comes to Magic Keys, because Disney could be altering the program. There have been a lot of rumors going around online that the reservation system for the Magic Key holders is going to be changed or altered, and also be changed and altered for ticket holders, because we have to remember one thing: Disney favors the ticket holders. Quite frankly, to I don't know, say it blunt, Disney does not care about annual passes. They want people coming to the park spending as much money as possible, and they focus on the tourists. Disney doesn't favor the annual pass holders. They favor the one-day or multi-day ticket holders and tourists that visit all of their parks here in the United States. Another thing that's interesting in this earnings call is Disney publicly said that there was an unfavorable attendance mix at the Disneyland Resort. So that begs the question, what does that mean? Does that mean annual pass holders? Were they referring to the Magic Key holders? Because the strongest Disney fans and theme park enthusiasts know that the Disneyland Resort is not a tourist-driven resort. It is a locals park. A lot of locals, including myself, head to the Disneyland Resort on a weekly basis, and so do a lot of other people that live in SoCal. Now, with Walt Disney World, it's a different story. Disney World is more of a tourist destination, and more people from around the world travel there. So there is a big difference, but what's weird is why they would say an unfavorable attendance mix. Like, what does that exactly mean? Me personally, I think they're talking about the annual passes, and that gives us a hint to what they might be doing with Magic Keys. I would not be surprised with the lawsuit happening and then Disney's reaction to annual passes and their thoughts on them, because like I said, clearly they just don't really care because they know people are going to go to the park anyway. I think they're going to change the annual pass program. At least that's what I think. Things could be totally different, and they could make an announcement at the time this video gets posted, and things might be normal. There's multiple scenarios that might happen, and one of them might be they say nothing, they turn on the renew button, and we're able to renew, and that's the end of the story, and there's no changes. But that scenario, I don't think is as likely as something that is altered. So they might let us renew, but there's going to be some new terms and conditions. There's going to be maybe less perks, because I don't think they're going to be adding any perks, because let's be real, the Disneyland annual pass program is about as basic of an annual pass program as you can get in the theme park industry. And I say that because I'm going to use Universal as an example. At the time of making this video and all of this debacle going on with the renewals, Universal, both in Hollywood and in Orlando, they're celebrating annual pass holders, and they're doing annual pass holder appreciation days. And if you don't know what those are, it's been a yearly thing for quite some time now, and I've experienced it both here in Hollywood and in Orlando. But they have special perks with their annual pass holders. They have cool like after hours parties. They do a bunch of fun things, and Disney doesn't do any of that. So that's what I'm saying when I say that Disney doesn't really have this extravagant pass program. It's very generic, it's very basic, and that's okay because they know people are going to come to the park anyway. Now, when it comes to the Magic Key lawsuit, that's not going to be going into court until sometime next year. And that would be pretty insane if they didn't do anything to the passes until sometime next year. They just let us kind of sit in limbo. I don't think that's going to happen. I think they will announce something sometime soon, but I don't think it's going to be anytime this month. I have a feeling they're just going to make us wait. There might even be an announcement at D23, so there's going to be another month until we possibly hear something, because we also have to remember this. When the parks reopened, they didn't have annual passes, and the parks were packed. They didn't have an attendance problem. They didn't have a problem making revenue, and Disney knows that. So Disney's not so reliant on the annual pass holders because they know people are going to come anyway. I can guarantee that a big chunk of people will buy tickets to go to the park. And I'm definitely not one of those people. I will not be purchasing tickets to go to the park. If they have a new annual pass, I will get the new annual pass. But as far as single day park tickets, I won't do it. I think Disney is going to take their time with this because they're in no rush. And according to the latest earnings call, it's very evident that they're in no rush because they're making more money than ever on tourists, on people that are traveling from out of state and out of the country to visit their parks. They didn't talk about annual pass holders. They didn't even mention them. So it's very clear, and it's very you can kind of predict what they're going to be doing, and I predict that they're really not going to talk about annual passes here for the next couple of weeks. They might just be redoing the entire program. I'm going to turn it over to you. What do you think of all this? Will you be renewing? Are you fed up with Disney? Do you still want to go to the parks and you will renew anyway? What do you think is going to happen to the program? Because yeah, there's a lot of rumors of some changes. I've heard things that they're not going to include parking. I've heard things that they're going to have reservations for pass holders, but not for ticket holders. I've heard that there's going to be less perks, like less of a discount. And yeah, so like, what do you think? I would love to spark up a conversation on this because it is just such an interesting topic, and I like how the bugs are like on me too. It's crazy. I mean, here's my stance on Disney, because some people get confused. Some people will say, oh, you're just a Disney hater. I'm not a Disney hater. I just don't like the way the horse is being steered. I like the product. It's fun. I enjoy going to the Disney parks. I love going to Epcot and Animal Kingdom out in Florida. I love going to Disneyland and California Adventure, and I want to see all the Disney parks around the world. But the leadership is a different story. The way they go about some things is very questionable and very frustrating. There's a difference. And right now we're in this weird period of Disney where they're making some very oddball decisions. And it's mainly by people that just don't go in the parks. I mean, let's be real. The executives are not in the parks. They don't care. Yeah, it's almost fun to watch because it's just so insane. Like, they announced a new annual pass program. They spent all this time and money on marketing for Magic Keys and this new branding. And then fast forward a year later, now we don't even know if it's going to be a thing anymore. And I've been hearing reports that they're taking away Magic Key signage in the parks, and things are being changed. We've also seen the parks take away some of the lounges. Like, there was that lounge in Tomorrowland at the Starcade that was there for quite some time, and now that's gone. So it's like, well, what's going on? Are they going to redo the program and call it something else? Because if they do, then that's just like such a waste of money, in my opinion. Like, that is such a waste of capital expenditure that could be thrown towards your frontline cast members. And that's another thing that I wanted to talk about. What's kind of frustrating about this is, and as a former cast member, I worked at Disney for 5 years. What's frustrating is that since there is no communication and the executive leadership is just kind of staying silent, who takes the blunt of the complaint? And that's the frontline cast member, the person at the ticket booth, the person on the other end of the line in guest relations. It's not the executive. That kind of goes against what Disney's philosophy is all about. One of their keys, out of those keys that they have, when you get hired into Disney and learn about the 5 keys, it used to be 4, but they've added a new one over time. But you learn about those keys, and one of them is courtesy. And I feel like they're not being courteous. When I'm talking about I'm talking about the executives. They're not being courteous to the frontline cast members because they have to deal with people's anger. They have to deal with people that are going to the ticket booths or making those phone calls and going, what the heck is going on? And what's unfortunate is those cast members don't know what's happening either. There's no communication. There is such a lack of communication that it's almost just shocking coming from a company like Disney. And I hope that we hear something soon. I really do. Not just because, all of us pass holders and enthusiasts want to go back to Disney and all that kind of fun stuff, but I want the cast members to be able to go to bed knowing that they don't have to deal with listening to when are we going to renew. It's not their problem, because they're not the ones calling the shots. They're just there making sure that you are having a great day at the park. So yeah, that's another reason why I'm hoping for some sort of announcement. Again, I don't hate Disney. I hope some of you that are watching don't think that. I love Disney when it comes to their theme parks. I think their theme parks are very fun. I'm very excited for what the future may hold as far as new attractions. And like I've said in previous videos, I'm excited for Mickey and Minnie's. I'm excited to go back to Florida to ride all of those amazing attractions. So yeah, I don't have an issue with the product, so to say. I have an issue with the way the park executives are leading this beast. So yeah, I don't know. Magic Keys may or may not be a thing. And that's okay. I know here on my channel, I'll be covering other theme parks. It's not the end of the world. This channel's not always about Disney. It's about all theme parks, and that's why it's called Theme Park Obsession. I'm a theme park enthusiast, not just a Disney enthusiast. So yeah, I'm gonna sit back and eat my popcorn and watch the mayhem, because I think it's kind of fun, because it's just so odd. Disney is making so many odd decisions as of late. At least I think so. I don't know about you guys. Again, go ahead and comment down below. I'd love to spark up a conversation about this. It's already happening on social media. When you go to the Disneyland Instagram page or the Disney Magic Key page, it's just the comment section is brutal. Check it out, because unless they delete them, but it's pretty crazy over there. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for today's video. It's one of these walk and talk videos. I really hope you liked it. And I like doing these because I feel like I just express my true feelings with you guys when it comes to some of this stuff. I'm so passionate about theme parks. I'm passionate about the Disney parks. And I just want to see them excel. I really want to see the parks do the right thing. And as a theme park enthusiast, I just want to have fun and enjoy. When I'm so passionate about something, I really like to voice my opinion, and you know, some people agree with it and some people don't, and that's totally okay. So yeah, go ahead and let me know down below what you thought, and if you like these videos and all my other videos on the parks, you should definitely consider subscribing if you're new, because I have a bunch of videos not just from Disney but from Knott's, Universal, Six Flags, and all over the place. We just did a road trip and that was a ton of fun, so be sure to check those videos out. But yeah, hit the subscribe button and notification bell if you haven't already. I usually keep everyone up to date on Instagram first, and then I usually send the information to YouTube. But if you haven't been following me on Instagram, you should totally do so, because yeah, all the latest exciting news drops there first when it breaks. So I try my best to get it over here to YouTube as quickly as I can. But I'll leave the link down below in the description for my Instagram page. Be sure to check that out. And of course, a huge thank you and a shout out to everyone that loves and supports everything that I do here on Theme Park Obsession. But until the next video, I hope you have a beautiful day, morning, evening, whatever it is. And I'll see you next time in the parks. Bye.